talk about investment and mixture problems. And we're going to write the equations and then we're going to solve it. So for number one, Hun invests a total of $8,000 in two different accounts. The first account earns a 5% APR, while the second account earns 8%. If the total interest earned after 1 year is $565, what principal was invested in each account? So before we do anything else, we have to understand a couple things. The interest in this case is equal to rate times the principal. And principal is like the beginning amount that you put in, and the rate is, in this case, the percentage. So the percentage times whatever money you have in your account, and then that will give you interest. And that's a typical saving account. Okay, so keep that in mind. So we need to decide how much money we have and what is the rate. Now the problem is we have two of them, and we have an investment of $8,000 in both of them. So in this case, really, if you want to think about it, it's like $8,000. We're splitting into two parts. And that two parts, one of them is, I'm going to call it the X. And that is going to be in the 5%. And the leftovers is going to be in the 8%. Okay, well, how do you write the leftovers? Well, your total is 8,000. And then you have a part of it in 5%. So the other one is going to be 8,000 minus the X. Because it could be 2,000, it could be 3,000, we just don't know. And those are the ones that invested in the 8%. Okay, now I want you guys to keep that thought in mind, because that's the first time I'm going to show it to you. Then we're going to organize it in a nice chart. So hopefully that will make your life easier as you start working through this kind of type of problem. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to say account. And then you have the rate. And then you have the principal. And then we have the interest. And because that, we also know we have two accounts. The first account and the second account. And the rate for the first one, I'm going to say 0.05 because I'm changing the 5% into 0.05. We cannot calculate in percent. You guys should know that. The second account is going to be 8%, 0.08 right here. But now the principal is the money we don't know. Well, we just said, okay, if we let one of them equals X, the other one's going to be the total that I'm investing minus the first account deposit. And how do you get the interest? Well, the interest we have means right here, rate times the principal give you the interest. So in this case, I'm going to take the rate times the principal, which is going to be 0 0.05 times the x, and the bottom is 0.05, 8 times 8,000 minus x. That's just writing it. Now here's another piece of information. They say the first account and the second account together, they have an interest after a while, after 1 year. It's $565. So that means this guy plus this guy together is going to be total $565. So we're going to write it down like that. You have .05 x plus 0.08 times the principal equals 565. And what we're going to do is we're going to solve it. That's all. And then to solve that, that's going to be 0.05x plus 640 minus 0.08x, and that's going to equal to 565. And then after that, you will have negative 0.03x equals, plus 640 equals 565 minus 640 minus 640. You are going to have negative 0.03x equals negative 75. And if you divide by negative 0.03 and you divide by negative 0.03, your first answer will come out to be x equals 2,500. That means the very first account that invests in 5%, you have $2,500 in there. So how do you figure out the second account? Well, the second account, it tells you the principal is 8,000 minus x. So I'm going to do 8,000 minus x is 2,500, and that's going to give me 5,500. Okay, and then so to answer my question, that's going to be 2,500 in 5% and 5,500 in 8%. That's good enough for me. Actually, it's 5% account and then 8% account. Okay, but if you just do this, you're done with your first question. The procedure, I would really like you to write it down. Okay, number 1 is use a table to organize the interest rate and principals. Multiply the individual rate and principals to get the expression for the individual interest. That's what I did. Multiply the individual rate and the principal to get the expression for individual interest. 2. Write an equation is the sum of the expression for the interest. Sum is because you add them together, one interest and the other interest, equal to the given total interest. Number 3, solve it. Solve The answer is on the bottom of the page. Chemical mixing problem. This is really cool because I remember when coronavirus was start to happening in March. I remember I had to buy some rubbing alcohol, but there wasn't any 70% rubbing alcohol left. So there were some 95% rubbing alcohol, or 97, and then somehow I have to add some water and make the mixture, so I will get the 70%. So this is kind of same type of questions, and I just want to see, give you guys some idea what it's like. So let's read through it. Chemicals are often mixed to achieve a solution that has particular concentrations. Concentration refer to the portion of a solution that is pure. For example, an 80 milliliter solution may have a 5% concentration of hydrochloric acid, which means that 5% of that 80 milliliters is pure of hydrochloride, and the rest is water. So now how do we do those kind of problem? To calculate actual number of milliliters that is pure hydrochloride acid, we use a simple percentage sentence, and that is percent of a whole is a part of the whole. Okay, so in this case, what we have here, 5% of 80 milliliter. Okay, so in this case, what you're going to do is 5% of a whole, 80 milliliter is pure, okay, and the rest of them is water. So percent of a whole, we're going to change the 5% into decimal. Of the whole thing, because that percent matches up to the 80 milliliter. And that is going to give you what is the concentration that's in the solution, okay? So if you do the math, that's 4. That means 4 milliliters is going to be 4 milliliters out of 80 milliliters is going to be the pure solution, okay? Because 80 is the whole thing, and then since 0.05 is the concentration part, so you are going to times the whole thing, and that is going to be the pure concentration, okay? All right, so now the general relationship is as follows. Concentration times the whole solution equals the volume of particular chemical. Okay? So this is the formula right here. Okay, and there's a little tiny typo. I'm sorry. This should be one word. All right. So let's go on and practice a little bit more. Example number 3. Margaret has a bottle containing 50 milliliters of 10% hydrochloric acid solution and a bottle of 25% hydrochloric acid solution. She wants a 20% hydrochloric acid solution. Okay, so in this case, she has a 50 milliliter of 10%, and then has a bottle of 25% solution, and she wants a 20%. So pretty much taking the less concentrated with more concentrated, making it middle row concentration. How much of a 25% solution must be added to the 10% solution so the 20% concentration can be created? Okay, so in this case, what we're going to do, we're going to do the chart again. Now think about what we said before. What we said before is concentration times the whole solution volume equals the volume of particular chemical. Okay, so in this case, we're going to do solution. And that is going to be table. And we have a new one that we wanted. Okay, so in this case, we have a weak solution, a strong solution, and the middle row solution that we want to make. So this is going to be the concentrated. And this is the volume. And that is going to be and the last one is going to be right there. Okay, so now let's fill out the chart. The chart is going to be, you have three different, the weak one, 10% solution, and then you have the strong one, solution, and then we want to make 20% solution. Okay, that should be no problem at all from what we have. Now the concentration is going to change it from percentage to decimal. And I think there shouldn't be any problem for anybody. Then the volume of the solution, we do miss a column. So that's 50. The volume of the 10% is 50 right here. Okay, and then they say they want the solution. What is the 25%? Now here's the thing. How much 25% solution you have to, so therefore you don't know that. So 25% is going to be the N. And then in this case, well, think about it. When you're adding water from one, when you're adding something to something, it's going to be volume getting more. So it's going to be 50 plus the N. So it's going to be 50% of the 10% solution. I'm sorry, 50 milliliter, the 10% solution, adding in, I don't know how much. And so therefore, the more you add, the N is going to go up. And then so therefore, when you add them, it's addition. Then you're going to get the solution, the volume of the CHCl. Okay. Now, from what we learned before is you multiply them. If you look at it closely, concentration times the volume, the whole solution volume right here, second column, equals the volume of particular chemical. So in this case, we are just going to take 0.10 times 50, and then 0.25 times N, and then it's going to be 0.20 equals 50 plus N. Now you guys tell me, what do you think the solution is going to be? Well, the equation. The equation is just literally the first one plus the second one is going to get you the one that you want, which is the third one. So it's going to be just 0.10 times 50 plus 0.25 times N, and then that's going to equal to 0.20, 50 plus N. That is it. Okay? So if you can fill out the chart and understand what they are asking, usually just this is the best. This is the chart makes it easier for you. Okay. So now first one is going to be 5 plus 0.25 N equals 10 plus 0.2 N. And when you move around, I told you guys to move the small of the two, because that way you will always get positive with an N. 5 plus 0.05 N equals 10, and minus 5 on both sides. 0.05 N equals 5, and divide by 0.05, and divide by 0.05. N is equal to 100. That means we are going to add 125% solution. Okay? Based on what we just solved, 100 milliliters of 25% solution must be added to the 50 milliliter of 10% solution to create a solution that is 20% of HCl. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So here are the procedures. Solving mixture problem. To solve problems involving mixing solutions, or not just solutions, think about anything else. There's other mixing milk. There's other problem like mixing different kind of trail mix. Those are kind of problems that I can come up with. The first line should be highlighted. Write it down. Number 1, use a table to organize the concentration and the volume. Okay. Multiply the individual concentrations and solution volumes to get expressions for the volume of particular chemical. 2, write an equation that the sum of the volume of the chemical in each solution set is equal to the volume of combined solution. That is one of the very important things. Equal to the volume of the combined solution. Number 3, solve the equation. Okay, example number 4, and the answer is on the bottom. 5. Number 5 is also still a mixture problem, but the mixture problem is not involve liquid. It's actually what I talked about, a trail mix problem more or less. Okay, so let's read that. The owner of a candy store noticed that 20 pounds of gourmet cashews are getting stale. They did not sell because their high price of $12 per pound. The store owner decides to mix peanuts with the cashews to lower the price per pound. If peanuts sells for $3 per pound, how many pounds of peanuts must be mixed with the cashew to make a mixture that could be sold for $6 a pound? So in this case, you are adding things to something to make sure the price is not as high. And that's the same thing with the concentration. Adding something to dilute the concentration. So it's it's the same idea. So now again, drawing the chart. You should know on the side we are going to label all our nuts, okay, the mixture. And on the top we are going to make the price, the number of pounds, and equals the value. The price okay. So really this is kind of like price times number of pounds equals the value. Okay, on the side we have the regular expensive cashew and we have the things they want to add in, the peanuts, and we have the mixture of the two. Okay, so the price of the cashew is $12. We know that. And then the peanuts are $3 a pound. And they want to make $6 a pound. And there is the $12 gourmet. The peanuts are $3. And the mixture is $6. Okay, now number of pounds. Well, we know the gourmet shop knows that cashew is 20 pounds. So we are going to put cashew as 20 pounds. And peanuts, we absolutely do not know how many pounds do we need. But we definitely know the mixture is both two things together. You cannot just ditch one of them. That's going to be 20 from the cashew, 20 pounds, plus I don't know how many pounds of peanuts I'm going to add in. So therefore, it's 20 plus X. The volume is going to, remember, price times the number. So that's going to be 12 times 20, 240. 3 times X, 3X. 6 times 20 plus x. That's your chart. Okay, now we are going to solve it. So remember the first two, cashew plus peanuts, gotta equal to the mixture. So this cashew plus peanuts equals 6 times 20 plus x. See how simple it is if you lay the table out? Please ask me if you have concern and question about how to pick these numbers. Okay, ask me tomorrow. 240 plus 3x equals 120 plus 6x minus 3x on both sides. And you should have 3x equals 120 plus that, and that's 240. And then minus 120 on both sides. You will have 3x equals 120 and divide by 3. Your x should be 40. So they need 40 pounds of peanuts because that's where my x is. X is where the peanuts are. Okay, so here's the thing. The store owner should mix 40 pounds of peanuts with the 20 pounds of cashew. Okay, that concludes our word problem for mixtures and investment. So please let me know if there's any other question you have. Thank you for watching.